How's it going on, guys, and welcome back to ABTFM YouTube channel. Today we are here with my 2021 Premier League prediction. Well, recently the transfer market is going quite crazy for some of the team in the Premier League. We have players like Timo Werner, James Rodriguez, Rodrigo, Donny van de Beek joining us in the Premier League next season. Alright, right now as you can see, there's a table beside me and I'm going to go through my prediction from the 20th position to the 1st position. So without further ado, let's jump straight into my prediction. My prediction on the 20th position is going to be Fulham. The last time we see Fulham in the Premier League, they've spent over £100 million, but they still couldn't stay up in the Premier League. This season, they beat Brentford in the playoff finals and promoted to the 1st division. In terms of the transfer, they had Anthony Knockaert from Brighton, Areola from PSG, and I think Ola Aina is going to join them on loan. However, I think the squad depth isn't strong enough for the Premier League. They might be a top team in the Championship, but maybe not Premier League. So, 20th position it is. 19th position, West Ham United. I mean, there's something happening in this club right now. The fans are furious with the boss, and even the captain Mark Noble tweeted out saying that he wasn't happy with the Dagana transfer. Other than Thomas Souček, they don't really sign any players from the transfer market right now. I mean, yes, they do have great players to stay up in the Premier League, but with the team morale right now, I can actually see them getting relegated in next season. In the 18th position, I am going for West Brom. West Brom finished 2nd in the Championship this season, and they've brought in players like Grady Dagana as well as Matheus Pereira, two great wingers. But similar to Fulham, I think the squad depth isn't strong enough for the Premier League. Well, they were quite lucky this season, all thanks to Brentford bottled it after the lockdown, or they might still be in the Championship right now. So yeah, 18th position, West Brom. Moving on to the 17th position, I am going for Aston Villa. This season, they successfully stay up in the Premier League at the final day of the season, and they managed to keep Jack Grealish in the team right now. They've signed Matty Cash from Nottingham Forest, and they've signed Ollie Watkins from Brentford. With that being said, I think they have the ability to stay up in the Premier League for another season. Maybe 17th position would be good for them. 16th position, Brighton. Well, I think Brighton has made some good business so far. They got Adam Lallana for free, they got Joe Veltman from Ajax, and they managed to extend Ben White's contract. I would say they have a pretty strong squad right now, and I personally love Graham Potter. So yeah, 16th position it is. Next up, I have Crystal Palace at the 15th position. Well, Crystal Palace is a very weird team for me. To be brutally honest, I think Crystal Palace players are not good enough for the Premier League. But Roy Hodgson is magic. For now, Palace signed Easy from QPR, which I think is a brilliant signing, and also they managed to keep Zaha for now, a player who is linked with all the big clubs every time and not scoring more than 10 goals per season. But yeah, I would say Crystal Palace is going to stay up in the Premier League, and I went for 15th position. In the 14th position, I am going for Leeds United. Well, Marcelo Bielsa is a top manager, and they had an incredible season in the Championship. I think they're definitely going to stay up in the Premier League, and they've made some incredible signings so far. Rodrigo from Valencia and Robin Koch to replace Ben White. Yeah, I just think they belong to the Premier League, and I'm going to predict them finish at the 14th position. 13th position, Southampton. Well, at one point they're fighting against the relegation, lost 9-0 to Leicester City, but Ralph Hasenhüttl, if that's how you pronounce his name, has found the football that he wanted to play. So far, they've signed Kyle Walker-Peters and Mohamed Salisu to strengthen their defense, and Danny Ings, in my opinion, he's just going to continue scoring goals for them next season. Having that said, I think a 13th position is not too bad for the Saints. In the 12th position, I personally think this is a controversial one, Sheffield United. Well, Chris Wilder had an amazing season with the Blades, and at one point they're actually fighting for the European qualification spot. However, after the lockdown, I think everyone can see their performance dropped. I think they do play nice and interesting football, but in my opinion, their players aren't good enough. But they can definitely stay up in the Premier League, so I think 12th position is the best for them. Moving on to the 11th position, Newcastle United. Well, they've made some incredible signings so far. A few days ago, they have announced Callum Wilson and Ryan Fraser, and the next day they announced Jamal Lewis. Well, I'm just gonna say the attack is going to look scary next season. Imagine Alan Saint-Maximin, Miguel Almiron. Now they have Callum Wilson and Ryan Fraser. Yeah, I think they are going to finish in the 11th position. Now, top half of the table, 10th position, I am going for Burnley. Well, Burnley have been really quiet in the transfer market so far, and I don't think they have signed any players yet. However, look at their performance this season. Nick Pope, arguably the best goalkeeper this season, and Jay Rodriguez, surprisingly, he has been banging goals for Burnley. Well, not to mention Dwight McNeil, he also had an amazing season with Burnley, so I'm just gonna say they are going to stay in the 10th position next season. In the 9th position, I am going for Leicester City. Well, next season, I don't think Leicester is going to finish top 6. I mean, after the lockdown, everyone can see the performance are actually quite bad. They bottled it at the end of the season, missed out the Champions League spot, but at least they're qualified for Europa League. Well, they've lost Ben Chilwell to Chelsea and they've signed a right back, Castagna, from Fiorentina. Well, I just don't see them going to finish at the top 6 position again, so I'm going for 9th position. 8th position, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Well, the scouting department is clearly playing FM because they've just spent £40 million to sign Fabio Silva from Porto. Nuno Espirito Santo has been doing a great job with Wolves. They had a decent run in the Europa League this season, finished 7th in the Premier League this season. But in the next season, I think they're just going to finish around that, but 8th position this time. With that being said, my 7th position is going to be Everton. Alright, every time we see Everton making big transfer, but at last, they usually finish at the mid-table. Right now, they have one of the best managers in the world, Carlo Ancelotti, and he is now building his team. So far, they've signed Allen, James Rodriguez, Abdoulaye Doucouré from Watford, and they still have players like Richarlison, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and I think they are going to finish at the 7th position next season. Alright, there are only 6 teams remaining and the top 6 clubs in Premier League. With that being said, in the 6th position, I am going for Tottenham Hotspurs. Well, Spurs finished in the 6th position this season. I think they are going to finish at the exact same spot next season. I mean, yeah, they have made some great signings like Matt Doherty and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg from Southampton, but I don't see them finish top 4 next season. I think Jose Mourinho has to sort out his tactic because looking at the performance this season, it wasn't good enough. Well, in the 5th position, I am going for another London team, which is Arsenal. Well, Mikel Arteta is doing a very good job in Arsenal right now. They have won FA Cup at the end of the season. They beat Liverpool in the Community Shield a couple weeks ago. And I think the rebuild in Arsenal is just getting better. Well, they managed to keep their captain Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang next season, and they've just signed Willian, Gabriel, and William Saliba is coming back to the team next season. I have to admit that Arteta is doing an incredible job right now, and I can see them finish at the 5th position. Well, moving on to the top 4, and the 4th position is going to be Manchester United. Before the season ended, Manchester United are having a great run in the league. Anthony Martial, Mason Greenwood, Marcus Rashford, they're absolutely brilliant before the season ends. Well, they've signed Donny van de Beek from Ajax, keeping Dean Henderson in the team, linking with Dayot Upamecano as well as Jadon Sancho, and Bruno Fernandes is going to have a full season with Manchester United. Well, they have a strong team and I would say they are going to finish at the 4th position because in the 3rd position, this club, they have been smashing the transfer window so far. Well, they've signed 6 players including Timo Werner, Hakim Ziyech, Kai Havertz, Ben Chilwell, Thiago Silva and Milan Sarr. Wow. And this club is Chelsea. Well, Frank Lampard is doing a very good job this season with Chelsea. They finished 4th in the league this season. In the upcoming season, I can see them being a threat for the top 6 club. But having the players to adapt to the Premier League, I don't think they are the title contender yet. In fact, they are going to have a great run in the league and I predict them to finish at the 3rd position. Alright, the last 2 spot, and in my opinion, the 2021 Premier League champions is going to be Liverpool. Alright, I know It may sound biased, but let me explain. Well, the biggest problem for Man City right now is their defense, and this season Fernandinho has been playing as a centre-back for most of the time. Aymeric Laporte, Kyle Walker, John Stones, Nicolas Otamendi, they're not having a good season. Yes, they have signed Nathan Ake from Bournemouth, but he was a part of a club that conceded 65 goals in the whole season. David Silva left for a free transfer and Sergio Aguero is aging right now. They do have Phil Foden and Gabriel Jesus, but I just don't think they're as good as Silva and Aguero. However, Pep Guardiola is still an amazing manager, and yeah, for sure, they are still one of the title contenders, but I would say they are going to finish second in the league. Well, let's talk about Liverpool right now. Yeah, I know they only signed Kostas Tsimikas and sold Dejan Lovren. Adam Lallana left for a free transfer, and Gini Wijnaldum right now is actually talking with Barcelona. However, I think there isn't any player that can replace the current starting 11 in Liverpool. Every Liverpool players are familiar with Jurgen Klopp's tactical setup, and we still haven't seen more from players like Curtis Jones, Takumi Minamino, Ryan Brewster, Harvey Elliott, as well as Nico Williams. Well, I've talked more about this in the previous football talks, and if you're interested, make sure to check out that video on my channel. Yes, I think Jurgen Klopp still have the ability to bring a few more trophies to Liverpool, and I'm gonna say Liverpool is going to be the champions in the upcoming season. Alright, so that's my prediction for 2021 Premier League, and let me know in the comment section down below if you agree with me or if you disagree with me, and we can have some discussion. So, if you enjoy watching the content, make sure to hit the subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment, and share it to our friends. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, it's ABT_FM to join the discussion of football. So yeah, that's all from me today, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.